Can't see.
You okay, Fred?
I have to take this down and fog up.
Meeting will come to order, please. Johanna, would you please read the statement of compliance?
The notice requirement for the Open Public Meeting Act for this meeting have been met and satisfied. A copy of the annual meeting notice was sent to the press, Atlantic City Press, Star Ledger, posted on the bulletin board in the municipal building, the municipal website, and filed in the office of the municipal clerk. Please turn off all electronic devices. Welcome to the City of Margate's regular commission meeting for August 6, 2020. This meeting is also being done via teleconferencing in compliance with the Division of Local Government Service Regulations. Before we begin, the process for the meeting is as follows. All visitors to the meeting will be muted until the public participation session is open. Once the public participation session begins, all visitors will be unmuted. Please announce your name, address, and wait for the moderator to recognize you before you begin to speak. Each participation session will be 3 minutes in length, and you will be notified at the 10-second mark. When public participation session completes, all visitors will be muted again.
Thank you, Johanna. Would you please take a second, turn off electronic equipment as we stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. Attention, salute. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Johanna, call the roll, please.
Mayor Becker?
Here.
Commissioner Amadeo?
Here.
Commissioner Blumberg?
I am here.
We have before us for approval the minutes of our July 16th meeting. What is your pleasure?
I'll make the motion, we approve those. I'll second.
Mayor Becker?
Yes.
Commissioner Amadeo?
Yes.
Commissioner Blumberg?
Yes.
Before we get to the next portion of the agenda, we have two reports. Frank and Dan Adams would be next on some updates on the storm.
Yeah, the updates on the storm, we were, last week we were there making sandbags, anticipating a lot of flooding, which didn't happen, but we did wind up giving out 6 sandbags. There was no damage to public property, but there was a lot of damage to trees and debris laying in the street, which we've been out every day, 8 hours a day, picking up truckloads. Some of our trucks are averaging 15 loads a day at least. There was no damage to our water wells or the towers. There was no damage to the wastewater pump stations. Down on the beach, all our Moby mats were blown around. They are all straightened out by now. The igloos for trash were all moved back behind the dunes. They're all back in place, so the beach is set up for this coming weekend. The high tide was very strange. It was high in the bay, but at the beach it seemed like a normal, regular high tide. I was very surprised. Let's see. Yeah, that's about all I have.
Thank you. Good job again as usual, Frank.
Thank
Good
you.
job.
Mike, if I may,
You may.
I just want to say an extraordinary effort by the Public Works team. I happened to be working from home that day. The rain had maybe stopped for 5 minutes. The wind was still blowing at 30 to 40 miles per hour, and the guys were out on the streets already beginning to clean up. And I know that it's been constant from that time until today when they were still going around and cleaning up. And I just, the residents of Margate really, really appreciate the work, and it doesn't go unnoticed, and certainly not unnoticed by us. So thank you to the crew.
Thank you.
Thank you, Warren. Chief Adams?
Thank you, Mayor. And just to echo what Frank was saying, the fire department, the beach patrol, and in coordination with the police department, we were prepared as well. The beach patrol had moved all of their equipment. up to the other side of the dunes in anticipation of the high tides. We had our storm trucks ready to respond, and I think we had more flooding today, Chief, than we did on Tuesday.
Multiple roads were closed today.
But the storm actually had two phases that we dealt with. Was the initial phase when it came through, and then the back phase when we kind of went through the eye. It got nice for a little while, and then the winds picked up and came out of the opposite direction. Our fire incident started around 10 a.m. and continued on through the night. And since 10 a.m. on Tuesday, the fire department has logged 103 fire incidents since that. The height of the storm during the day on the 4th, we responded to 89 separate incidents. Two were of significant nature, of a serious high-tension line that came down on Claremont Avenue that caused a little bit of stir for us, and then we had a couple of poles on fire. Most were manageable. The guys did a great job in the coordination and cooperation of the police department, and we were working hand in hand with Public Works. When we found trees down, we coordinated with them to get the trees out of the way and removed in a quick fashion. And Deputy Chief Armstrong was able to sequester the electric company guy, and we kind of kept them with us for the first 4 or 5 calls, which was helpful. And then they shut down for a brief period of time due to the winds. But all in all, everything went well. We were prepared. And, I just want to thank the cooperation and coordination we had amongst departments, because it makes my job that much easier. Thank you.
Thank you, Dan. Before we open public comment, I had a phone call from Atlantic Electric at around 2 o'clock, and they said that they would have all of Margate pretty much finished this afternoon, which is a good thing. At this point, we will open public comment, 3 minutes on any subject. Mr. Klotz.
Glenn Klotz, 118 North Barclay
West
Avenue.
Drive.
Keep going, Glenn. Keep going, Glenn.
Okay. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Am I loud enough? Okay.
Pardon me? Yeah, I can.
Yeah. Just a question. Are we going to?
It's
are you
public
go-
comment, Glenn.
Okay. Are you going to be reading today the resolution?
The resolution?
Yeah.
Yes.
I don't have any comments for this.
We're going to be
section.
voting on it.
You're going to be voting on it.
It's-
Yeah. Yeah.
It's on the agenda, will be read and voted
Okay.
on.
Will we be able to speak after that is read? That's my.
Will you be able to see it?
No, will we be able to speak after it's read or not?
Well, so no, your comments should
Your
come
comments are now,
or
Glenn.
when
Okay.
we introduce,
Okay,
okay?
There
yeah,
will-
that's fine.
There will also be comment before the introduction, so,
Okay,
Mhm.
okay.
okay.
I would just like to say, I'm here today basically to thank the commission. This has been a long process. It's been 2.5 years since I first got up here with this idea. At the time, another local citizen got up, Kenny Davidson, and he asked that there be a referendum on the topic. At the time, I thought he was a little over the top. But here we are today. Like I said, it's been a long process, and the committee would like to thank the commission and the city administration for taking this idea very seriously. In the last 10 years, I believe there's only been 3, maybe 4 questions that have been put on the ballot in Margate. So to have this on the ballot, we feel is incredible. And we would just like to thank you.
Thank you, Ben. Mr. Alch,
Mayor, at present time, I do not have to speak.
Mr. Warner,
I have nothing to say.
okay, this is a motion to close public comment.
You got
John,
people on the internet.
we have some people on the internet.
Oh, I'm sorry.
John Sewell, go ahead.
Yes, Mayor, firmly grasp the seat of your pants.
May
We're
I have
going on
your
another
name
trip
and
on the
address,
Wayback
please,
Machine.
Mr. Sewell?
When you were a young
John?
whippersnapper, when Tripp, then
John,
implied a brown
name and
heavy
address.
haze, nearly 60 years ago, in the year of 1962. In that fateful year, the Jersey Shore experienced a 3-day nor'easter, during which Ocean City's boardwalk was twisted like a nickel pretzel. Margate City Fathers 18 years earlier realized the folly and foolishness of ever rebuilding its boardwalk. Thanks to an acute case of Joe Bidenitis, Mayor, your memory is too fuzzy-wuzzy to recollect, recall, or remember those valuable lessons. When it comes to squandering $30 million plus on a boardwalk, its utter duplication and redundancy of the already huge boardwalk at Fredericksburg Avenue that runs all the way to the inlet. Mayor, in your adult state of mind, you want to reinvent the wheel needlessly. Thanks to your wanton tax and spend policies, year-round population has plummeted, as the 2020 census will clearly indicate, making any referendum a farce. If it carries, it means 50% or of the 1/3 of the population voted for a new boardwalk, or less than 17%. Hardly a reason to squander $30 million plus. Your campaign mailings crowed, quote, "This commission has demonstrated fiscal restraint and responsibility with your tax dollars. Their record proves it." Really, Mayor? What psychotropics are you imbibing? Can you recall your fiscal fiasco, finally referred to as your $1 million field of dreams, that quickly morphed into a $2 million disaster? Recollect how legal fees to fight the butt-ugly dunes ran way past initial projections. Your nepotism-plagued school system cost senior citizen taxpayers the very highest K-8 cost per pupil per year in the entire county, along with the very highest K-8 teacher salaries. All this makes your campaign pledges, quote, "making sure government works effectively and efficiently," and the commission has an established record of fiscal responsibility. Totally bogus and false assertions. Mayor, you three banditos lack the backbone and intestinal fortitude to stand up against special interest groups with an unlimited sense of entitlement. Mayor, heed the solicitor's sage advice that beachfront homeowners won't take your addled nonsense sitting down. An eminent domain is a very costly legal minefield that you shouldn't dance upon, Mayor. Back off. Thank you.
May I have your name and address, please?
Sewell, 22 West Drive.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Is Mr. Gorenstein here? Did you want to speak at this time, Mr. Gorenstein?
Henry Gorenstein, 9100 Beach, Margate. I just want to say that there's been some discussions over the last month or so about a high-rise overlay zone possibly in Margate again. This is what we heard from the planning board. The planning board said that the commissioners may be discussing it and maybe bringing an ordinance to the planning board. Is there any truth to that?
I didn't hear the beginning. I'm sorry, Mr.
Is there any truth to what the residents heard at a recent planning board meeting? Someone from the planning board, your planning board, said that the commissioners are working on an ordinance to present to them for consideration to see if it's consistent with the master plan or not concerning a high-rise in Margate.
We have nothing on board, and actually it would be coming the other way. If there was a zoning or change, it would be coming from the planning board to the commission.
But that's not what we were told.
Okay, that's true.
We were told that the commissioners are considering it and to be vigilant and keep an eye on what's going on. So,
not writing an ordinance.
and if there is one, if you do,
No, you're told wrong. It's.
well,
We
it's
hear so many things.
that's
that are
it's
completely
on
not
tape.
true.
Listen to the planning board meeting. You will hear
Well,
that. It's clear as day.
I would be the one writing the ordinance.
Okay, thank you. So
And
there's
that's
no
not
ordinance being
happening.
worked. And if you do consider it, all I ask you, all you gentlemen, is yourselves or the planning board, I know the mayor's on the planning board, to at least hire the proper consultants to see what the potential impacts would be if that was implemented, and especially the impacts to Lucy the elephant. which everybody loves. All right? Thank you so much.
Thank you, Mr.
Thank you.
Wilkinson.
Ms. Walsh, do you wish to speak?
Do you have someone, Fred?
Is there anybody else to speak?
Hello?
Yes, name and address,
Hello?
please. Name and address, please.
My name is Sabina Walsh, 16 North Essex Avenue in Margate. I have recently sent Joanna Casey the city clerk pictures, so it's going to make it easier for me to present my problem. First of all, I have no problem with small businesses staying open, but the following rules should have courtesy with them to the residents on Essex Avenue and people residing on Ventnor Avenue. The noise problem from Margate is unbelievable. You cannot leave your door open or windows, and when they stop, if they stop at 10 o'clock, there is a very young group that hangs there till it's closed. And I don't think the virus problem is being taken seriously there. I think it's a problem. Also, I must say I'm handicapped, and on Essex Avenue, just the rain today had flooded the street in a matter of half hour. And I do not know what it's going to be like in the wintertime, because I don't know how long you people intend to keep this tent in one way to get in and out of here. That we have to, as residents, walk blocks to get to our cars because the employees have taken every single space up on this street. I can't walk 2 blocks to go, to carry groceries or anything like that. And if Johanna Casey will go over the pictures, you'll see where you have a sign down at the end of the block for residential parking only. That's not happening. We need stickers. There are now tables on the Ventnor Avenue that Boca put on both sides of those tents that you'll see in those pictures. Picture number 4, that you can't even ride your bike through there because now they're putting a table on the sidewalk. So that means you have to go all the way down towards Monmouth Avenue and make a left or right turn to walk or ride your bike. And I'm handicapped. I went out and bought a 3-wheeler bicycle. There's no way I can get by because I don't want to move my car. And I think everybody's ignoring this whole situation here, which is very bad. And I'm also very concerned because I heard that this tent and his space outside is going to be able to be allowed to be open till December. Please realize that I am not getting out in my car if there's snow or rain and it's icy, and I can walk a block without falling and killing myself.
Ms. Roth,
I need to be able to
your
walk
time is up,
outside my
Mrs. Roth.
residence and be able to get in my car to go to the doctor or CVS.
Fred, tell her.
So I also have 8 pictures that I sent to her.
Ms. Walsh, your time is up. Thank you.
Mrs. Roth, we'll look into that
Am
for
I
you,
going to
though.
get anywhere with this? Does this go anywhere? Are you going to look at the pictures and the reasons on the back?
Okay. We'll look into that and someone will get back to you. We have the pictures, okay?
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you for your time.
Thank you. Is there anybody else, Fred?
No, Mayor.
I'll move to close public comment.
Thank you. Second,
Mayor Becker,
yes.
Commissioner Amadeo,
Yes.
Commissioner Blumberg,
Yes.
Okay, we're now open public comment on the ordinances for adoption and resolutions on the agenda. Is there any public comment? Did you want to talk again, Glenn, on resolution? That's part of what we're talking about here.
Glenn Klotz, 118 North Barclay Avenue. I just want to say this about the resolution. The committee hopes that if it is passed, that the city will move forthrightly towards the process of getting this to the state. That's our hope. We realize it's a non-binding referendum, of course. But that's our hope, and we wanted to put that on the record. And once again, I'd just like to thank everybody. 2.5-year process, back and forth. We think this whole subject has been vetted better than anyone that I can remember in a long time. We have report after report, back and forth. So thank you very much for putting it to the voters.
Thank you, Mr. Klotz. Any other public comment at this point? Is there a motion to close public comment?
So moved.
Second.
Mayor Becker?
Yes.
Commissioner Amadeo?
Yes.
Commissioner Blumberg?
Yes.
Johanna, would you continue, please?
May I have a motion for the adoption of ordinance number 9, 2020, an ordinance providing for the vacation of a portion of Amherst Avenue?
I'll make that motion.
Second.
Mayor Becker?
Yes.
Commissioner Amadeo?
Yes.
Commissioner Blumberg?
Yes.
May I have a motion for resolution number 144, 2020, authorizing payment of claims?
I'll make that motion.
Second.
Mayor Becker?
Yes.
Commissioner Amadeo?
Yes.
Commissioner Blumberg?
Yes.
May I have a motion for resolution number 145, authorizing the acceptance of the 2019 municipal audit after receiving municipal audit and the commissioner's acceptance of its corrections?
I'll make that motion.
Second.
Mayor Becker?
Yes.
Commissioner Amadeo?
Yes.
Commissioner Blumberg?
Yes.
May I have a motion for resolution number 146, 2020, authorizing payments to Colmar Home Center?
I'll make that motion.
Second.
Mayor Becker?
I abstain.
Commissioner Amadeo?
Yes.
Commissioner Blumberg?
Yes.
May I have a motion for resolution number 147, 2020, regarding City of Margate construction of a new boardwalk for voter approval on the November 3rd, 2020 general election ballot?
Make that motion.
Second.
Mayor Becker?
Yes.
Commissioner Amadeo?
Yes.
Commissioner Blumberg?
Yes.
May I have a motion for the consent agenda, which consists of resolution number 148, 2020 through 152, 2020?
I'll make that motion.
Second.
Mayor Becker?
Yes.
Commissioner Amadeo?
Yes.
Commissioner Blumberg?
Yes.
Anything else, Johanna?
That is all for
Maury,
me
do you have
today.
anything? John?
Yeah, Mayor, I do. As we're informed constantly by our clerk, the importance of the census is for all property owners. That includes seasonal homes also. So the message we want to send here that is very important for our city and most barrier islands where the population is lower in the off-season, that they have to participate in order to help us with grants and funding from the state and federal government. As I look at the chart of all the municipalities, the 4 barrier islands, Brigantine, Margate, Longport, and Ventnor, are all in the 20%, 29% range for returns on census, which proves a lot of the second homeowners have not done their due diligence. And it specifically says that as a second home, they are still responsible for filling out as visitors as long as they use it. So with that said, we hope people participate. The deadline is when? In the end of this month, isn't it?
I'm not sure what they're looking to extend it.
So for Margate City, it was 30%. For Longport, 22%. So that tells you we need this, our second homeowners to fill out the census for us. The only other thing I want to mention is I want to thank all that were involved, police, fire, and public works, for their response on not only the important issues, but all the cleanup that followed. That is a tedious project. Everybody had their hands involved with it, and it was, as Maury stated earlier, they did an excellent job. So congratulations to the team once again for keeping Margate proud. Thank you.
Thank you, John. Any other business?
Yeah, just one thing, for,
See what you said.
for Matt. I know we got a call, that the light was out at Amherst and Jerome, and 5 minutes later, less than 5 minutes later, we had someone out, and we had that street safe. So, just, again, a great job, police, fire, building department, everybody. Thank you.
Is there a motion to adjourn the meeting?
Nanette, keep that dog quiet.
I'll make that motion, we adjourn.
Second?
Mayor Becker?
Yes.
Commissioner Amadeo?
Yes.
Commissioner Blumberg?
Yes.
Thank you all for being here.
Yeah, she did.